Hi, I'm Raptor, and this is my first long essay video. Yippee! So this video was inspired by CutCafe's videos about Sir Fluff's axolotl trio, which I'm like, wait, people can just make videos like this? So I'm deciding to take the job of explaining my favorite storyline from Fluff, the fish market storyline. Just know this is my first long video actually using my voice with a phone microphone, so it was gonna sound horrible, and let me know if my accent, because I'm 15, is annoying. Now, before we get started, most, at least, of the art and background videos are all made by Sir Fluff, except for a few pieces of art I made as I was making this because, I don't know, the autism kicked in. It was mainly only meant for the thumbnail, but you know, I might as well use what I have. Now, let's get started. Let's start off with the fish market trio, the main ones you would usually see on Sir Fluff's channel. Achie, Pepper, and Kenny, which is also in the same order of who I'll be talking about, and it's also in the same order of who did the least amount of crime to this is straight up Jigsaw level of things. First off, Achie, or how I believe it's pronounced, I have no clue. He is a feral, crazy, funky, wild guy, and he is the youngest one in the trio at 24 years old. He is a Chowling, a close species by Sant proof, I believe. He is described as a big extrovert, low attention span, and wild guy. Very much action before thoughts fella. He seems to be in the middle one of the group, not only in personality, but also actions. Speaking of actions, his actions in question are actually the most tame out of Pepper and Kenny. In Fluff's own words, been to jail about 1 to 2 years for attempted murder. He was supposed to be in for 7+ years more due to bad behavior, but somebody busted him out somehow. That's actually mostly the only thing he's done, except for one thing. So I should also explain the fish market itself. It's a big market made of all these shops of people selling fish, shells, oysters, or whatever is around that washes up on the ocean. He's been apparently banned or is forbidden from the fish market due to an incident or something that was a problem with Pepper. I have no clue what it is, but there is one video where Pepper is absolutely yelling at him, and in the background we can see a crashed car. So I think he crashed the car. I think that's what happened, because honestly I feel like he's the type of guy to do one mishap, and yep, you're banned for life. Also on his toy house it is said that he has his driver's license taken away. He only rides around on a scooter now. Yeah. He doesn't really have anything else big to the story for now, other than in the future he finds love. Aww, even the odd found love. Wait. Now on to Pepper. Oh boy, this was a big one. Pepper is the oldest of the trio at 35 years old. It's unknown what exactly he is, but appears as an earless rodent of sorts. But actually, he's a reptile, as there are multiple pictures of him saying he's a reptile, like complaining about, you know, cold weather and that. And he is seen having blue blood when he's like hurt or something, which, you know, that's not a mammalian thing. There's also a single picture of him as his original reptilian self on a bench with the description, "If you remember him, no you don't." From this, it seems he really wants his true self or species erased, as he has never been seen like that since his stepbrother Nick was born. So who's Nick? Well, Pepper was adopted by 2 people at a very young age, Clyde and Luna. The worst fucking parents ever. I'm gonna be completely fucking honest. Sorry guys, that was the one, the demons took over actually. I didn't say that. So, Luna absolutely spoiled Nick, her biological son, and treated Pepper like how you treat your Neopets on your account from 2004. AK never cared for him, hasn't cared in years. Now, Clyde was always around Pepper in the worst way possible after an incident. We don't know what this incident is, but it was likely at the casino. So the casino was where Pepper and Nick worked. Pepper was the one to gamble with people, as that was his job, while Nick mostly played poker and cards, as that was his job. Nick played a bunch of cheat tricks on people, but never got caught, so I didn't do it if I never get caught, you know? Well, Pepper was interesting. On the page for the casino, it says the following. And this is also referring to the section about the gambling, which is where Pepper worked. If you win, you get $1 million off your debt. If you lose, well, let's not think about what you'll lose. Let's just say, if you look closely, some miners don't have a few fingers, toes, teeth, maybe a scar on their side. The warden doesn't play cheap tricks, so you better not either. So from this, it's known that Pepper is usually known to be very violent around the casino. But at 22 years old, he quit due to being slashed on the face, which partially kind of blinded him in that eye. Now, it's not really said anywhere else of what exactly happened, or to my ability I've found, but this is where we get to our first animation meme that actually explains some story about these guys. Class clown. In this, we see what actually happened. It starts off with Pepper and Nick playing poker, with Nick cheating his way to victory once again. Then it cuts to a shot of a room full of guests laughing and drinking wine, with Pepper being tied up upon a chair in the middle of the room. He's become the laughing stock of the room, along with Nick, who seems to be the one who caused all of this, as he's shown to be the first one laughing. It gets so far to the point people are splashing red wine on him, presumably Nick's the slash. Then we cut to the very same room they were in, but it's dark with one light bulb lighting up the entire thing. The whole room bloody, and Pepper's still in the middle, presumably after the slash, as he's shown covering his eye of where it happened. Then we cut to a separate part of the room with a light bulb, with the character who was a lion, who was the very same one who splashed the red wine on him, tied up in the chair like he was soaked in blood and like probably blinded, as his eyes aren't shown, or maybe Fluff didn't show his eyes because he's just a background character. He has no information on Toils. He doesn't exist. Wake up, he doesn't exist. Then it shows Pepper coming into light with wrappings on his eyes, implying this is after his injury, which ends with the implication that Pepper killed or like sliced up that lion, as it's shown him holding a knife of some sorts with blood on the ground, in which the video ends. So from 22 to 29, which is him before joining the fish market but after quitting the casino, we don't really know what happened. But there is an image of him showing his post-scar but still pre-fish market. And it shows him like it was shown in the video of him with the eye wrappings and longer hair, implying that he's grown it out. And it shows him with a Tommy gun, implying he's gone into a lot of crime. This is further proven by his Toy House profile. The profile says the following. People from the crime business seem to know and are low-key afraid of him. Let's just say he has a colorful history. I have no clue if the last part is about him being gay, or is that quite literally points out that he paints the room a bright, colorful red of everyone else's blood. But his role in the fish market is quite big, actually, as he's not only well-liked and known there, he is the co-worker and market manager of the guy who runs the market, or just owns it, who we'll get to. Just know Pepper has a fat crush on him, but it's very one-sided, more of a, oh my god, I love you so much, and like, my trustworthy employee, you're so great, man. Also, some fun facts. One, on Toyas it says some of his teeth aren't real, but he won't tell you which one. I don't know what that means. The other fact is that the eye that was slashed, it's not blind, it's not even like hurt at all, mostly. It just functions a bit more poorly than his other eye, but it ends up not affecting him much at all in his day-to-day life. Now to the last one. Kenny. This is where it gets real messy, folks. Kenny presents himself as a smug, rage baiter, flirty idiot, and by flirty I mean kinda catcalling. but he's actually very serious and cruel underneath. He's like a wolf in sheep's clothing, if you count sheep's clothing as being a complete fool. It's unknown what exactly he is, but he's described as a possible tiger shark or sea serpent. Kenny isn't his real name. His real name is unknown or redacted on Toy House, as all people who know his real name are supposed to be dead. He was once a young soldier under Leon, this clownfish-looking fucker who was the ruler of the underwater kingdom, but was attacked by his brother and disappeared since then. But Kenny, who was once a soldier under Leon, was banished around age 14 from the kingdom due to raising his voice at the King Leon. At the time, his last stance before his banishment, his back fin was removed by Hawkins, one of Leon's soldiers, and the only one he has yet to kill. Later on, Kenny was taken in by Shay, or I have no idea how to pronounce that, I'm gonna just say Shay, who is Leon's brother. Yes, the same one who attacked Leon later on. Shay took him in as his own soldier as he knows what Kenny is capable of. When Kenny was a bit older, he ended up killing all of Leon's soldiers, presumably from Shay's command. All except one, Hawkins. He didn't kill him because he doesn't know where he is. Plot armor moment, I guess? Now, Kenny absolutely slaughtered them. It went from simple killings to Jigsaw level type stuff. It's all too brutal for me to describe on here, but I'll have a link in the description to the info. But with caution, he eventually ended up working at the fish market. But most of the time he doesn't do anything. He usually just spends his shifts sleeping in the freezer. Now on to the rest of the fish market characters that haven't been mentioned already but still have big ties to the market itself. So first off, the guy who owns and runs the whole fish market business is JJ, along with his brother Shark, who's the butcher there. Starting up with JJ, he's a Caucasian shepherd, probably straight, so RP Pepper, I guess. He's kind, loving, and finds joy in everything. His past is unknown, actually, as one night he showed up on Haxton's doorstep, his now adoptive father, with a note with the name JJ, which is where he got his nickname from, as his real name is unknown, and that he'll be the next rightful owner of the fish market. He's very tall and huge, so he's very cautious about his surroundings and stays in his office due to Pepper's advice. Instead, he tends to do delivery as it helps out as a workout and enjoying the community. I say community because he's loved by the fish market and the people around that area due to, he's a big leader working with everyone, and I mean everyone. I don't know, capitalism moment. Actually, I don't know what capitalism is. I don't know, I dropped out of second grade. I'm gonna be completely honest. Now, then there's Shark, JJ's brother. He's not actually his brother, but they're distant cousins, but consider each other brothers, and they also grew up together. While his current job is a butcher, his OG job was as a lifeguard. He quit after some guy pulled his fur while being saved, which caused Shark to freak out and unknowingly throw the guy into some beach chairs, which kind of broke a few of his ribs. He also acts as a bodyguard for the market. He's also Kenny's boss, but we already talked about how Kenny is, sleeping in the freezer like a lazy fuck he is. Now, here's the part where it gets dark. Shark was once in a relationship with a character named Estrella. It's never told what happened, but there are multiple images with Kenny, of all people, telling Shark and even after the relationship that it was abusive and manipulative. As Shark still seems to love and miss Estrella, even drinking the problems of the breakup away. This is going by faster than I thought, so on to our last character, who's recently been shown on screen a bit for the first time ever, Rhea. She's a newer employee under the fish market. Pepper, her superior and kind of boss, I guess, has even said she has potential. He even teaches her things about life. She originally came on behalf of her ill grandmother. Despite her looks, she's not related or even the same species as Kenny, and would take great offense if even slightly compared to him. An interesting note to add on, her links with Pepper on Toy House, it shows she talks about how her grandma is very cautious about Pepper, but Rhea doesn't understand why. This is interesting as, you know, Rhea was originally sent to the fish market as her will from her grandmother, who's ill. But if her grandma wants her to be here, she would have to know Pepper's here. And she's very cautious about him, probably knowing what he did back then. So why would she send her? Also, little note. On the toy house, when it's talking about how she's compared to Kenny and hates it, it describes Kenny as a slob. Hey, editing Raptor here. I'm so done. The class clown animation meme with Pepper, the first time he's ever been shown on the main channel. I was there the day it came out almost 4 years ago. Yeah, it's gonna turn 4 years old this year. That's insane. I had never known. At the very end of the video, there was an extra animation clip with him, you know, instead of pulling out the knife, he puts it back in, puts it in his pocket, I assume, and then leaves, and he looks like he's on an airplane, and it's like implying he's changed since then. Why am I just finding out about this? I found out when I'm editing all the clips together. I'm done!